This video is brought to you by IPVanish. IPVanish is the app that you need to allow you to safely browse the internet. Listen, if anytime you go online, you're at danger from hackers. Okay, they're going after your social media, your personal details, and more importantly, they're going after your bank details. Good friend of mine had his Instagram hacked recently, and then they were blackmailing him, trying to get money out of him just to get access back to his Instagram. With IPVanish, you are fully encrypted, so therefore these threats, they are a thing of the past, okay? You are fully encrypted, you're protected from the hackers, and you don't have to worry about that anymore. So, click on the link description down below, or go to IPVanish/Bisping to find out more details. IPVanish, that's the way you want to go. It's going to protect you while you are online. Okay, Jake Paul is fighting Tommy Fury soon. His brother Logan Paul, we saw him recently in an exhibition bout against Floyd Mayweather. Now, it seems like we're living in an episode of The Twilight Zone because Logan Paul is fighting next year again. Who is he going up against? Is it Ben Askren? Is it Nate Robinson? Is it some other little guy that can't fight? No, he's taking on the baddest motherfucker that ever lived, Mike Tyson. Yes, that is correct. Mike Tyson, February 2022, next year. Date and venue still to be confirmed 100%. But Logan Paul is boxing Mike Tyson, which is a sentence I never would have thought I would ever say. You know, you got to respect Logan Paul here. You got to respect and Jake Paul. I talk about Jake Paul on this channel a lot, and they've won me over. They have my respect. Okay, I'm going to get into it all. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. I think Mike Tyson's going to knock out Logan Paul. But before I talk about it, you know the deal. Subscribe down below and be sure to ring the bell. Now, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, two brothers, YouTubers, taking over the boxing world. You know, I've even worn my Tales from the Octagon shirt in honor of Mike Tyson because when I did Tales from the Octagon, a lot of people said, you should watch Mike Tyson's one-man show. And I did, and it's sensational if you haven't seen it on HBO. And Brad Tendo said, oh, you should wear a Mike Tyson shirt if you've got one. I said, I haven't got a Mike Tyson shirt, but I've got my own Tales from the Octagon shirt. That's the closest to a Mike Tyson shirt I've got. I certainly, however, do not have a Logan Paul shirt, and I'm very happy to say that. But if you want to send me a shirt, Big Mike, let's go. We last saw Mike Tyson when he had an exhibition bout against Roy Jones Jr. A few months ago, and he looked good. Mike Tyson's 55 years old. He's had a storied career, right? The ups and downs, the highs, the lows. The man was the baddest man on the planet. He earned hundreds of millions of dollars. He squandered it all. He came back. He went to prison. He got out of prison. Now he's the people's champion. He's on the Tyson Ranch. Everybody loves him. He's got the hot boxing podcast. You name it, the man's done it. He's an acclaimed actor. He's in the Hangover movies. I mean, Mike Tyson, the rebirth, what he's had since his post-fight career, it's unbelievable. You know, it just shows, you know, you really can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it. Maybe he's not putting his mind to it. Maybe it's just natural. The man is a charismatic guy. I love listening to Mike Tyson talk. I really do because, you know, obviously a lot of people probably think he's a meathead, but when you listen to him talk, he actually is very insightful. And another thing that I prefer to do than listening to him talk is watching fight, right? Mike Tyson back in the day, come on. One of the most exciting fighters you'll ever see. So yeah, Mike Tyson, he retired in 2005 and then since then didn't do much, but he had that exhibition bout against Roy Jones Jr. And I got to say, at 55 years old, the man looked incredible. You know, Roy Jones Jr. is no walk in the park, by the way. Just because they've both been retired for a while, it never leaves you. That fighting ability that you have and that fighter's mind that you have never goes away. You know, I'll tell you a quick story about Roy Jones Jr. actually. And so I'm involved with a company called Playline. And the owners of that, they used to be involved in another company. And this is how I met these guys. We did an event. And on this event, I grappled Chael Sonnen. Right, but they did a pay-per-view event where they had Rey Mysterio wrestle Kurt Angle. I grappled Chael Sonnen. Quinton Rampage Jackson was the commentator, and in the main event they had Roy Jones Jr. boxing a fan. Yes, that is correct, a fan. And what they did was everyone had to send in their videos as to why they should be the guy to box Roy Jones Jr. And a lot of amateur boxers or pro boxers early in their career sent in a ton of videos. And there's one guy that got the job or got the gig or got the booby prize, if you will. Went out there, looked okay for a round, then make no mistake, boom. Roy Jones Jr. knocks him out. No surprise, right? So the man still got it. So that's why I saw that, and it wasn't surprising. Roy Jones Jr. is incredible. But that fight with Mike Tyson, it was a good contest. Of course, it was an exhibition bout, you know. There was no winner. But still, they both looked like they could still pack a punch. They both still had the boxing skills. And Tyson still looked hungry. That's why in this fight against Logan Paul, exhibition bout, let's be honest, it's an exhibition bout, it's not a fight. I do have concerns for Logan Paul though. I think Logan Paul might get knocked the fuck out in this, right? In exhibition bouts, you're not supposed to go for the knockout. But do you really see any world that you can imagine where Mike Tyson isn't going to try and knock out Logan Paul, right? Logan Paul, we just saw him against Floyd Mayweather. Went the distance, okay? So there was no winner. It's an exhibition bout, same thing. And Logan started okay. He's a big guy. Obviously, he's twice the size of Floyd Mayweather. But he gassed. He gassed really quickly. Logan was aggressive on times. And Floyd carried him. Let's be honest. He did. Floyd should have been embarrassed with that performance, if I'm honest. He should have made a mockery of Logan Paul, but he didn't. You know, whether that's because Logan was good, maybe it's because Floyd stepped off the gas, we never know. But there wasn't much happened in the last few rounds. But as I say, after 3 rounds, Logan was tired. Now, I don't know Mike Tyson personally, but I know the fighter mindset and then the person that I think Mike Tyson is. He's going to want to make an example. You think Mike Tyson's going to step into a boxing ring with a fucking YouTuber and he's not going to try and make an absolute mockery of him? You think he's not going to try and knock him out and show the world? There's no way Mike Tyson is going to try and do what Floyd Mayweather did and go to a decision and all hug and smile and say, yeah, that was great. No way. Mike Tyson's a nasty bastard, and that's why everyone loved him as a boxer, because that's what people want to see. Logan, he's tall, you know, he's long, he's kind of a big guy, he's athletic, he's got a great physique. Jake Paul's by far the better boxer, I would say. If I had to pick who was the better, I'd say Jake Paul's way better. But Logan, you know, he has some skills, you know, and he can certainly punch. And as I say, he's big and he's athletic. And he'll learn from that fight against Floyd. Maybe he'll learn to manage his gas tank a little better. But there's just no way I don't see Mike Tyson going out there and absolutely flatlining him. He'll find the mark at some point. Let's remember, okay, Logan's probably got a speed advantage. Maybe because Tyson's 55, but the power that Tyson possesses, we know it's almost second to none. And at 55, he's still got it. They always say the reaction slowed down. The speed kind of dissipates a little bit, you know. Your timing and your reflexes, that all kind of goes. But the last thing to go is the power. Make no mistake, right? I'm telling you, I guarantee. February 2022, Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson ends with Mike Tyson knocking him unconscious, right? Mike Tyson knocked out so many people and he loves to do it. The feeling you get when you knock somebody out cannot be replicated. Mike Tyson's been on the sidelines for a long time. His last professional bout was in 2005. Okay, he had an exhibition bout against Roy Jones, but he wants that. He wants the money, of course. It's going to generate a ton of cash for both guys, and well done. Congrats. Logan Paul, can't hate on him. He's quite the entrepreneur, as is his brother Jake Paul. So God bless him. I hope they make tons of money. But I'm telling you right now, afterwards, Logan Paul is going to the hospital for a CAT scan. He's going to spend the night in whatever city's hospital it's going to be in, because he's going to hit the canvas face first and go to sleep. Mike Tyson's going to cut the cage off. He's going to get him in the corner. And once he gets him in the corner, he's not going to fuck about. He's going to look to make an embarrassment out of this guy for even having the balls, the audacity to step into the ring with the great Mike Tyson. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. But still, there we go. I'm excited to see it happen. It'd be interesting to see the press conferences and all the shenanigans as the fight gets closer and closer. Mike Tyson's 55, so I don't think we'll see too much out of him. But if Logan pokes the bear a little bit, we might see the old Mike Tyson. Remember some of that stuff, some of the press conferences from Mike Tyson saying he was going to eat people's children, and you know, with Lennox Lewis, they were rolling around on the floor at the press conference and he was trying to bite his ankles and all kinds of stuff. Mike Tyson's a legit fucking madman, and that's why I love the guy. But yeah, there you go. Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson. I never thought I would ever say that sentence. But still, there you go. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, ring the bell. Take care.